What's up, y'all? I am the girl you can trust tarot, and I am here with the collective reading. Y'all, listen, I've been trying to get a special guest in here, and it has been quite interesting because I'm new to this. So, first of all, happy Tuesday to you guys. Is my person here? Like, I don't know, y'all. I've been trying to do this. Add guest. Okay, so send them another link. Okay. Ugh. We're really. Why, Lord, you gotta help me, cause you know I'm not fake. Woo. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, hopefully this worked. Are you there? Hello, 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 guest. Are you there? I just invited you. What is going on? What is this right here? Just 1 minute. Highlight same. What? Oh, why? What are you? Okay, there we go.
Can you see me?
Okay, there you go. Listen, me with my patience, I'm like, what is going on? How you doing?
How you doing?
You are doing, you can't be just doing. You got to be like, I'm great. I'm like, Tony's a tiger great. But no,
Right.
I'm just teasing. Listen, I'm so thankful for you to join us today on my channel. I wanted to invite you to go over astrology and like what's going on in the world. As far as the astrology, not just the world, but America in particularly, those who live in the West. I don't know if the actual. So sometimes I can't really see if anyone is actually on there. It
I
may
see one
not show it.
person.
Okay, so sometimes it won't even show you how many people. Like I can have 100 or 1,000 people in there, and I won't see it to the end. But
Right.
welcome to my person in the chat. Listen, y'all. So I have a special guest today. This is my son, Zachariah. He's actually. Well, let me let him tell you about himself. I wanted to introduce him. Would you like for me to introduce you? Because this is our first time actually doing it, and we wanted to just like discuss things that I've been picking up spiritually and energetically. He's very intuitive. He's an empath. He's half of one. He's a twin. I have twins. This is Zachariah, and he has a brother, Jeremiah. And he is he's just a plethora of knowledge. He's always been, oh my gosh, he's always been so passionate about music, love from a little kid, just very passionate. And everybody that saw him, they would just gravitate to him. He's my baby that God spoke to me and said, you're going to have a son, and I want you to name him Zachariah. I didn't know God left out the fact that I had two in the womb, but this is half of another. This is my baby, y'all. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope I'm doing fine with introducing you.
You're doing awesome. Greetings,
But
greetings.
he is 25 years old, y'all. He's going to put all of his stuff in the chat. But I wanted him to come on and really just help us get a better understanding about astrology and the things that's happening in the world, but particularly here in America, because of the downloads and the spiritual messages that I've been getting for a very long time. Him being my son, he can tell y'all all about that. But we're going to get into it. We wanted to kind of like hit on the target. I don't know if you guys know anything about like Amazon just recently laying off over 100,000 people, Zach, and putting in how many
750,000 robots. I
AI
want to
robots.
look into that to see how accurate it was, because I've been hearing about that, the past few years, that they do plan to move into ushering in robots, to work, because it cuts the cost of having to deal with, actual like human, as far as it's more liability with working with humans, because you got to pay them, give them money, a
Right.
paycheck. So
Right. So what, like, for me, because energetically, you guys know, for those of you guys who subscribe to my channel, I've been talking about, like, if you're out there looking for a job, especially if you know that you've been called to tap into your own specific gifts or talents, and you've been receiving downloads, but fear has been one of the things that's been holding you back. This happening with Amazon. When was it? Was it this week, Zach? With
I'm not sure when it happened. I have to look at the video.
I'm gonna have to Google it
Because
then.
the video didn't give much context on when it happened.
Okay, so like many of us are really going to have to, just really tap into our creative, like our ability to create. Like, we all have many gifts and talents, and they're the goal of just removing us from that codependency is what's really happening. At the same time, you see a lot, like when I was looking at the video with all of those individuals that were laid off and replaced by AI, they were crying and all of that stuff. So that was pretty,
Intense.
yeah, pretty like intense. But at the same time, I've been sharing on this channel about this. It's going to get rough before it actually gets better, but it's all a shift. It's all happening like that to help us, to usher us into this new awakening. Like, we're being
Right.
downloaded. Like, I was getting some messages about even our chromosomes. 24, I think 24 of our chromosomes are being activated to a new level. But I wanted to let you get into it. This is our first time. We really just want to go into what's happening astrologically with the Aquarius age, and how they're going to be ushering in, like, robots for real, replacing, you know, um,
Right.
us as humans, and how it's so important for us to just really tap into our purpose. Many of you guys have purposes, and how Zachariah and myself, we've learned a lot and been able to heal a lot along with what we know biblically, spiritually, but combining that with astrology to help us really, like, overcome a lot of our personal struggles, because I believe that astrology is like a blueprint
Yeah.
back to the self.
Right.
But I'll let him, because he's the expert. And as I'm gonna, like, ask some questions and tap in, but I'm gonna let you take
So
over.
so I want to say thanks for the invitation. Thanks for having me
You
on
are
your
welcome.
platform, your network. And
Thank
it's
you.
pretty much everything she said. That's my mom, Phoenix Couture. What do you call your thing on
This is the
YouTube?
girl you can trust,
The
tarot.
girl you
Hi,
could trust.
Mello.
The
Y'all
girl you
talk
could
in the
trust.
chat where y'all from. What's up, Mello? Somebody
That's
laugh.
and I appreciate you having me. And I want to start off saying I'm not a licensed astrologer. I just been studying astrology for like it's almost been since 2016, and what is 2024, so roughly about almost 8 years. And the main reason I got into astrology is because I feel that it gives me not that I feel that it gives me I feel like it gave me perspective on life, like, and just on it was like the initiation for me to dive in deeper into esoteric knowledge. Like, it was
Hmm.
astrology and numerology. And because I felt like the basic, I don't want to say just the basic overall perspective of how religion is, I feel like how religion is kind of pushed upon us. I feel like it wasn't deep enough for me. I feel
Wow.
like it wasn't deep or in depth enough for me. And I feel like, I don't know, even since a kid, I always had like this something in me that just always was searching for something deeper, always was searching
Yes,
for
I've been that
answers.
seeker too, Zach. I don't mean to cut
Right.
you off, but
So,
I've definitely, I've always been one that wanted to know truth. It was a seeker of
right,
truth. I wanted answers,
right,
like, in the church, and just, it wasn't giving me enough. It wasn't going to depth. It
right,
felt like something was always missing.
right. Exactly. I always felt like something was missing. And now that I have more of a grasp or understanding of why it felt like that, is because initially, when you're learning the basic understanding of what the religion is, you're learning the exoteric version or knowledge of what's being said, which is the literal or masculine version of what's being said. And
Mm,
once you realize that, you have to understand that it's also an esoteric version of what's being said, or so the spiritual or feminine version of what's being said. So for me,
wow.
that's very important to learn
Yeah.
the values of both.
So in other words, there's like layers to it,
Exactly, it's layers
because
to it.
Okay, there's layers to it as far as even how we'll be able to digest it. So I want to
Right.
say with that being said too, like it's so important because I feel like when you start waking up and discovering a lot of things, like the Bible says, with knowledge comes sorrow. And so you'll go through this period of being very angry. We're talking about I have him on here. He's an astrologer. Well, he's been studying astrology since 2016. And so I wanted to have him on here. We were gonna I don't know if we'll have time because we've been trying to get on here, but I was gonna allow him to do just a quick little synopsis of someone's chart. But we were going to be talking about what's going on in America and from an astrological standpoint, the transits kind of sort of.
Right.
And
I'm pulling
like
up my
so
computer.
Mello, hopefully you got a little bit out of that. Go ahead, Zach, because I
And
don't
that's
want
Mellow. Or
what
is
you
that
said.
someone else? Is that Mellow as in the one we know or somebody else?
The
Or
one
just
we
like a
know.
random person? You know,
That's a random
Carmelo.
person. I don't know who
Okay.
that is.
Okay, so I'm trying to pull up the transits on my computer so I can go into
Mello asked a
exact.
question: is this Christian based?
No, so this
No.
is, well, if you want me to be completely honest, every religion is based off astrology. You know, if you want me to be, it's not necessarily Christian based, it's esoteric, spiritual knowledge based. You know what I mean? So we're
Mm.
going deeper than just based off religion. If your only understanding or perspective is based off religion, you will be bamboozled because you,
We listen, but we're all having to wake up with the age of Aquarius. Nobody can be
right,
bamboozled in this age. Like the truth is slapping us right in our face, whether we like it or
exactly.
not.
Exactly. And I actually I want to pull up a picture where it even talks about the Aquarian age in the Bible. I think it's called like the new age in the Bible. I have to, it's because
The
you
new
know in
age,
every age they
or
had
is
a
it the end of the world? Like,
it
or it does. I think it says the end of the age, the end of an age,
it
or the
says
end.
something.
Well, don't
I
say
think
the
it's
end of an age. It says the
I
end
think
of
it's
an
a
era.
new age or something because when it happened back in when it went when the so when it
Piscean.
went into Pisces, it was called like I don't know if it was called the Old Testament or something. I have to look at it again, but in each age there in each age period it changes and it has like a specific name like in the Bible to basically tell you what's to come, basically. And I
Okay.
had a whole video about it. I really want to pull it up, but we probably don't have enough time. Let me
Oh my
see.
goodness. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Zach, you can kind of hold the audience down for a second.
I got you. I got you. So I'm trying to pull up the information that I need to pull up for the video. One second. I'm sorry. Once I'm able to pull up the information, I'll be able to talk more in depthly. Might have to use my.
Okay. Sorry about
Sorry
that.
about that. So I was trying to pull it up on my computer, but for some reason my computer is not letting me do what I need to do to be great. So I'm going to pull it up on my phone. I wish I could do it on the phone that I'm using, but it's not going to allow me to stay on the live and do it. So once I pull it up, is it any question you want to ask, or I guess
Well, we were
anybody?
supposed to, because I'm using this phone. I had all my notes written on that other phone. I'm so like,
Right, right.
let me see what comes to.
Once I get my phone working, I'll be able to pull up the transits and go a little bit into detail.
So, so with that being said, like you know how okay, this is kind of like deviating from. I'm gonna come back to y'all because Zachariah doesn't have a long time. For anybody that just joined, This is my son, one of my twins. He has been studying astrology since 2016. He's a plethora of knowledge, and I wanted him to kind of like help us get an understanding about certain things in regards to like what's to come, because I've been getting a lot of prophetic messages, a lot of downloads. As he know, I've been receiving messages for a long time, and a lot of that stuff is actually started happening in 2019, 2020, that things are starting to unfold in regards to us being into this Aquarius age. I had mentioned that I've been saying on the channel that it's going to be important for us to tap into our purpose, use our creative energy to generate resources, and that Divine Mother is here to bring about, after this struggle, we're getting ready to move into now sacrifices and rewards. No more struggling and sacrificing, but now rewards. But this rewards is going to be based off of your ability to create, because AI is coming in and taking over. But not only that, with us being in this age of Aquarius, there's so much that is being exposed. And so the things that we lived our lives by, as far as the media having so much influence from the entertainment industry, as we're seeing like so many being exposed. And I don't even want to like fall into judgment or anything like that. That was another thing the divine was saying to me too. Like, it's so important for us to not fall into this area of judgment, because we tie ourselves into the karma. We start to open ourselves up to what they're experiencing based off us just weighing in on a judgment. Like, that is a complete distraction with all the stuff that is happening. Like, I'm not saying that, because sometimes some of it is funny, some of it isn't. Some of it is definitely heart-raking. And I also have been feeling like, especially with a lot of those child stars that are adults now that we see, and a lot of the things that I've seen that's happened behind the scenes. But a lot of things are being exposed. It's important for us to tap into that creativity. I had got a message about a harvest moon and something really big being up when it comes to politics in September 17th. And so I wanted Zach to give us kind of like as much as insight as he could in regards to what's happening in the planet right now, especially here in America with this entertainment industry, Pluto being in effect, the age of Aquarius. And I don't know if I'm going too much, but
no, you're good. You're fine.
This is our first time, y'all. So thank you guys for your patience. I know we've been on here for like 17 minutes, and he doesn't have a lot of time because he has to go get off and do something. But I do really appreciate you guys for taking out the time to tap in and tune in with us. Go ahead, Zach.
So with the Piscean age, so we have to realize during the Piscean age there was a major veil, and what that represents is that we were in the it was between the Pisces energy and like the Virgo energy, in a sense. That's why a lot of stuff was during that time when it was in the Piscean age. It was about money. It was kind of like about money, and also a bit like kind of like almost, I don't want to necessarily say structure, because Virgo represents structure in a sense, and the Pisces represents like the almost illusion of structure. It could be like the illusion, if you get what I mean, as far as what because it's like if you pay attention to what happened in America, they tried to create this form of structure, but it really
that
was like a
everybody
facade.
that kind of had an influence over the whole world, kind of sort of, because everybody wants to come to the land of the free, the land of the living, right?
And
America.
On a deeper level, this America actually represents the throat chakra of the earth. So anything that's done here is going to be happening all around the world, because this is the throat chakra. It's the voice of like the earth, in a sense.
So each region has, like, not region, but each country has a chakra?
Depending on where it's placed at, where it's at.
Okay.
Like that
I don't want to take you to the left of that.
we can go deep into that part of another video.
Okay.
But that's why even specific places on the earth are aligned with certain stargates.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But so I'll go back to what I was saying as far as the Piscean age. But it was a major veil over the world. And they tried to keep a tight loop on what was being, put out, what was, you know what I mean? They did expose some truths, but not all the truths.
Can I
And
just
you
say
notice,
something really quick? Do you remember me telling you, like, right before Raymond transitioned, that I had this vision? of like a dark veil over the moon, and I was like, God, what are you saying? Like, and he was saying, like, we thought we were talking to the Most High, but it's been an
They're
illusion.
using the moon. They're using the moon
Yes,
as
and
a
it
to
was like you do. So do you remember me telling you that? Like, it was, I think, in the beginning of 2023, no, it was in 2022 where I saw, and I was scared. I was like, God, so are you saying that we have been thinking that we've been tapped into source, but it was something actually a veil or like
yeah.
something dark that was because I literally saw like a dark shadow over the moon.
Right, because they're using the moon to basically control the matrix, to
Okay.
simulate the matrix, basically. So
Okay.
that they use to galvanize the earth, basically. That's why I heard a long time ago that when you pass away or transition, you're not supposed to go to the moon. They say you're supposed to go to the sun, because technically our souls come through the sun, and they're using
Mm.
the you get stuck in this matrix if you go through the moon. When you come back, you reincarnate, and that represents the sleep spell, because
Now
the moon,
that was another thing I heard about the
yeah,
deep sleep.
because the moon controls. That's why even to go. So that's the whole point. The whole way that they're able to control this matrix is through the moon, because of the like even when it comes to money, the money represents the moon, like the moon, but the blood. What did you call it? The blood. I'm trying to see how to explain it. The blood and moon magic, basically, because money
Mm.
wasn't always. We didn't always have money down here. They brought that concept of money in, like,
Mm.
I'm trying to see how to explain it. They brought down that concept of money and like rituals and stuff to basically make money our god. That's why they say it's,
Mm.
and another reason why they call money like liquidity, or you know what I
Mm.
mean. All that comes from that same. You know how they call money liquid,
I've never even heard that term.
like liquid, what,
Oh, I
like
have.
liquidy,
Oh, okay. Like
like
liquid
it's a little,
assets when you
yeah,
say it like
liquid
that.
access.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
all that's being galvanized by the moon, pretty much. Like
Okay.
they're using all that. Like even when they talk about certain rituals, they use the moon for it.
Okay. So with
Right.
that being said, in regards to us moving into this age of Aquarius and that the moon shadowing the truth, which we have been, most of us are like seekers of truth, or
Mm-hmm.
now that veil has come down, what should we be like preparing for in terms of astrologically? You said you wanted to touch on the transits to kind of keep it simplified.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
is
I'll
there
start
anything
with
that sticks
Pluto.
out?
So Pluto and Aquarius. So what that represents is, so like you said, we're in a time of independence, because it represents, since we're in the time of Aquarius, you have to balance the Leo and Aquarius energy
Mhm.
within you, because Leo represents the creativity, that represents the self. Aquarius
Mhm.
represents the collective independence, and not just. So Leo represents personal independence, and Aquarius represents collective independence. That's why you're gonna see a lot of
Mhm.
incidents where the collective is breaking away from you know, the
Way of
general
doing
idea of
things.
exactly the general way of
Mhm.
doing things.
The mask
With the
has to come down. Those old belief systems that are no longer
exactly,
working
and we
has to
have
go
to come together back into our own like sovereignty and
within the self
just
first.
exactly within the self and Leo. Then you
Mhm.
progress to Aquarius, and where we come together as a collective instead of just individuals. Because you
Okay.
once you get that individual awareness or individual togetherness or balance, you have to balance yourself with the collective. Because
So with
that's the whole point of it.
That's so interesting because I've been seeing and hearing the word independence a lot, and sovereignty, and I've been putting that probably in some of my titles. But we are definitely moving into, um, and I feel like even when you look at, or you feel like people that may seem like they're still asleep and they're not awakening, I feel like there's activations happening to
Yeah,
everyone in the planet,
that's crazy. You
because
said I just was
we're
talking to
one.
somebody.
There's only one. You know what I mean? And
Right,
we're all connected to the one. And which so between now and the next
and that's what the
upcoming
water
months.
barrier represents too. Not to cut you off. The water
Mhm.
barrier represents pouring in awareness. It represents basically consciousness flowing into you.
Okay.
And basically everything that's happening in the Piscean age is like, it's like water just being poured over it, like opening up the
Wow. So there's
veil.
like a purification
Yeah,
that's
purification,
happening.
exactly. A cleanse,
Wow.
exactly.
Wow. 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 There's a cleansing, and I've been hearing Spirit been speaking to me about the cleansing as well.
Right. And I feel like even when I have conversations like this, like when I told you I was talking to somebody, I just mentioned it to you on Sunday, where we were kind of going into a debate about Christianity, and I was using like certain things of Christianity, or like not verses, but like, yes, verses, certain verses to
Biblical
break down to,
scriptures.
right,
Mm-hmm.
biblical scriptures to break down to where, you know, Jesus or Christ basically came down here to be God in the flesh and to show us how to be God in the flesh. That's
Yes.
why, in a way, Jesus represents the water barrier. He even
I never
mentions
knew
it in
that.
different verses in the Bible about, I think I showed it to you. Basically, but the whole point of Christ consciousness represents that the Aquarian age, that
Okay.
ushering in that new energy, that energy of, because Christ isn't just Christ. It's a position. Anybody could
Mm-hmm.
be appointed to that. That's why you have Krishna in in Hindu. Krishna was an
Mm-hmm.
ascended master. That's what Christ was. Christ was an ascended master. And most people
Mm.
rather worship him than actually take his teachings
And
and
it was
use them.
never designed to do that. And the Bible speaks
Exactly.
about it, but it's like it got so convoluted. I guess that was all part of the system as far as the
Yeah.
veil there with the moon, covering
Because
high or hiding
it's
certain
easier to control
truths.
people if you make them believe they're human instead of God. It's easier to control
Mm.
them if you tell them you're nothing, basically, and you, out of all this vastness of the universe, this is you.
So
You're
with that
nothing.
being said, according to like astrology and looking into like Hollywood, like if you look at a lot of the films, like when I was a kid, we saw films about robots basically taking over.
Yeah,
And now you're actually seeing them replace us with jobs and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um
And that represents the
what does
Aquarian age and the new
like
technology, because
so according
Aquarius
to
rules
like you
technology
can't
too.
so with looking at astrology from I know you haven't really delved in as far as the Earth aspect. I mean, not Earth, but America's aspect. But did you take a look on yesterday in regards to some of the transits to kind of like what, and as far as the America's chart or how you looked at the chart, what should we be looking at? What in regards to the things that's happening, like how is that going to impact the earth, like for how can mankind prepare, or what is it saying other than we know that we should be tapping into our creativity, using our gifts? What else is like, what type of insight are you seeing in the chart in regards to what's to come and how we can prepare? Is that too much of a challenging question to ask, or is it
Not necessarily
too broad?
challenging, more so I could tell you that without using the American chart, just
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to see how to, more so because I think it'll be a bit harder to explain using America's chart, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then we remember we talked about we were gonna look at like Puppy Shark and
Hmm.
everything that's going on with him and how things are being exposed. Is there anything that you wanted to kind of like that you could just use as an example or something that we can compare?
You saying to Puffy's chart, or you still want me to elaborate on what you asked me before? Because I still can elaborate. It's just I don't necessarily want to use America's chart until I do a little bit more looking into it. Because what I was looking at, I kind of feel like I just need to do a little
Okay,
bit more
so
research.
go with what you feel comfortable with
Okay, so as far as what we should look forward to, I feel like,
from the chart aspect and what you see in the chart.
okay, from the chart aspect, definitely, I mean, pretty much what we said as far as coming out with your, figuring out your purpose so you can more so facilitate towards that.
So are we
And
going
you
to see more
definitely
people really tapping into their purpose, even though that is the energy that we should be in? Are we going to see that if you look at the
more
chart, or it's going to
so
it's
the
going to
way the
be
chart
different?
works is more
Hmm?
so predictive based. So you can't say more so what a person's going to do, more so this is the energy that's influenced. It's more so an influence than more so what
Okay.
you're gonna do.
And that's
Because
what I'm asking. What type of influence will we see more
you
of?
definitely see more of that. People going more into, because Uranus is in Taurus, and Taurus represents technology. I mean, not Taurus, but Uranus represents technology. Taurus, in a sense, represents money, and Uranus also represents innovation. So you're going to be, people are on a collective basis are going to be finding ways to be more innovative when it comes to money, because Taurus
So,
rules the
but
second
okay,
house
so
and
and
how you acquire things.
you said Taurus represents money and Uranus represents technology. So, does that mean
And
too,
also
like how we're
innovation.
seeing AI take like growing? So, does that mean that we'll be able to use AI to do our work
Definitely.
too instead of the bigger
Definitely.
companies
I mean,
taking
people already
over?
do. Do you know about Chat GPT?
Who?
People, Chat GPT, I
You know,
think it's
I
Chat
don't really
PT,
be
or
watching TV and stuff like
it's
that.
the robot where I've done it. You could use it to write your resume, to answer certain questions, and to pretty much ask anything. Like it's like it talks, it communicates back with you. So you can ask it a question and it'll answer the question.
I feel like that's too. It's also keeping you from using your brain. So what are we
Of
gonna have to
course.
be using our
I mean,
brains with
of course,
it?
this what we're doing right now. Technically, our ancestors could do telepathically. So,
Hmm.
us
Hmm.
using technology in general takes away from what we already possess, because the whole makeup of it is based off us. It's based off our brain and how
Okay.
our brain works.
Okay.
And but
Um.
I'm trying to think. There's another thing I wanted to say. So another thing I think we should also be aware of is, as far as bunkers. Like, I think people really should, consider, you know, first, I think we're in a time where you really need to acquire a certain amount of money, save up a good amount of money. And if you ever heard of what a to go bag is, pretty much if anytime the world goes crazy or hits the, shit hits the fan, excuse me, my French, but if stuff hits the fan, you need to go bag where, you know what I mean, you gotta go under, or just have
Right.
all
And
your
I mean, the
important
Bible even
life
speaks about
essentials.
that. So, because I've been, listen, so I've been getting a lot of messages about storms and disasters and things just
Yeah,
happening. But also, my concern was because I've been seeing a lot of people that are homeless like
right,
everywhere. And it's just kind of like weird. Like, I have never seen it like that before. So, I was getting kind of in my emotions. And God was like, wait a minute. Like, there's going to be a solution. Like, I need you to keep focused on what your plan is. And it's
right,
important for us high vibing beings to keep our energy heightened. But the
right.
Bible even speaks about going into the mountains and stuff like that in the last days.
Mm.
So, hi, Nene. We
Hey,
love you.
man.
You see her in the chat.
Uh-huh.
um,
And you know
but
what the mountaintops mean spiritually too.
huh?
The mountains, when you're at the mountains, represent being at the highest point. And the
Okay.
higher you are, the more easy it is to connect spiritually. The higher you are
Yes.
to the sky,
Yes.
even for
So,
meditation.
like, and I'm like, okay, I've been getting a lot of messages about things to come, and I really have been going back and forth with the divine. Like, how do I deliver it, because it's a lot. It's pretty heavy, but at the same time, it's like
Breaking
we're
news.
supposed to keep the collective on that highest vibe possible or frequency, because we still have there's a new earth arising for sure.
Exactly.
But what is that gonna look like? We don't know still. Like, I've seen
Right.
visions of it. I've seen it, but then it's like I still go back and forth with, is this fantasy? Is this like,
Hmm.
but what is fantasy, right?
Right.
Imagination is everything, and it's so
And
important for us to
I heard
operate.
that's realer than this.
Very true. Right, right. So it's that logic and that reason and trying to make sense of it all. And some of it isn't
Right.
definitely going to make any sense to
Right.
the natural mind, because the mind is always trying to figure things out, come up with a solution. And I've learned more now than ever, like, trust in the divine. And when the divine gives you something, it doesn't necessarily come through that logic.
Yeah,
Like
because we're in the age of knowing this. It's
and then it
intuitive.
starts to just flow out of you, like, and then
Yeah,
you know that it's not of your
right.
own, like it's something that's higher.
Normally,
So
when I feel like that or I get like an epiphany, I feel like this surge of like energy through my head. It's like a, it's like
wow,
you know what I mean. I feel it from back
yes,
here all the way, like you could feel it, like it's almost like lightning bolts or like a charge. You know what I mean? I feel like when you get those
yes.
epiphanies or when you're getting like your downloads.
I listen. I'm getting them so much now. I'll just be like, sometimes I literally feel like I'm on a high all the time. People like,
Yeah,
come down to earth, please, if you
right.
will.
I was just thinking
Um,
about that today. Like, for people who smoke, like, it's a reason why they call it a high. You know what I mean?
yes.
Because why they didn't call it a low? They called it a high. It's a reason they
Oh
call it a high. I
wow.
feel like because where are you going when you putting yourself under the influence of that?
Mm.
I feel like in a sense, like
Wow.
even and that well, not to go too deep, but I was about to say something.
Okay. It
But
was something that I wanted to ask you. Oh my God. What was it I wanted to ask you? Okay. Is there anybody in the chat? Is there any
you,
like thing that
you
you
did
could
ask me about
advise
Diddy.
anybody that may want to ask a question in regards to their chart? Because I was thinking we could have used a celebrity to kind of point
I do
out
want to
what
say
makes
something about Diddy. If you want me to do that afterwards, I do want to
well,
bring
I
back
know you don't have much time left because you're
what
gonna have
time
to
is it?
skedaddle. What time is it? How much time you have
I could,
left? I'm gonna
we
come
could
back,
do
y'all,
10
and
more.
do a
Can
reading
we
as
do
soon
10
as
more
we end.
minutes?
Me and Zach. What you
We
say?
could do 10 more minutes. Is that
Okay, 10
good?
more minutes. So if
Yeah.
you have something that I love Biggie, but anybody that you feel like drawn to, I had said Diddy because his life has been kind of like just being
Right.
martyred at this point in time. But I feel like he's serving his purpose. I don't know.
Yeah,
Does
definitely.
that have something to do with the Saturn energy in him or in his chart,
Uh,
or
I
the
mean,
fact
based
that
off
no,
his
not
age, he
Saturn,
should
but
already pass
Pluto?
his
Just
Saturn return. I mean, he definitely has a lot of that Scorpio energy for sure. He has Capricorn in there, and he has Libra and Virgo. So those those energies normally are not necessarily well. No energy is necessarily bad. It's all about how you use it. But one thing I
and
notice
they had
about
their
Diddy,
purpose too.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
and one thing I say I notice about Diddy is that he's very egotistic, and he likes to
Mm-hmm.
dominate people. And
Greetings, Dakar
greetings,
Senegal.
greetings, hello,
Hello,
Ashe.
hello, hello.
And one thing I notice, I said like you could tell he has a very dominant personality, and he has very dominant signs in his chart. He has
Mm,
Mars in Capricorn, which is exalted, which means that when that planet is in that sign, it's going to be at its most potent. It's going to be at
mm,
its best, basically. So, and then you have Scorpio and the Sun, and those energies coming together can be very because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, Mars is ruled by Pluto. These
mm,
energies coming together is that's gonna be some, you know what I mean? That's some energy right there. That could
mm.
be
So
dominant.
that's
You
what I
could
want to know. So is there like, do you see with his chart in the place and say, "Hi, Pepe, we love
and
you
we
too."
love you, Pepe. And he got that
Oh,
Venus and Libra. That's why you always hear him talking about love, brother, love. Because Venus is Libra. I mean, Venus is ruled by Libra. And Venus
wow.
represents that love energy, that partnership energy, and even how you notice how he's able to connect with different people and network. That's that Libra energy. And Libra is good at connecting, making connections and networking. So that's another aspect that I noticed in his chart. Even just that love in it, that what he's always talking about love.
Yeah, I think he had changed his name to Love too at one time.
Yeah, he did. And even just to go even deeper, just why you hear so much about his sexuality and how that's been exploited and all that different stuff that could be definitely based off that because you got that Libra in there that's kind of freedom based and love
Oh
everybody
wow.
access. And you got that Mars and Capricorn, and then you got that
Which is
Scorpio
kind of
that
like very dark.
in a sense it's very stern and it can be I feel like him having that Scorpio sun can make it a bit more darker. I feel like
Mm.
I need to pull it up. I want to pull up his chart. My other phone just not turned on yet.
It's
Let me see.
okay. It's okay.
Because I want to be able to break it down a little bit more. Because I actually had some stuff I wanted to say. Let me
It
see.
still ain't come on yet.
I don't know why it ain't come on yet. Like I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on my computer. Let me see. If y'all bear with me, I'm gonna bring it up.
I really appreciate everybody in the chat and for
Me
even
too. I
all of the
appreciate it.
likes and for those who have joined us. Again, this is my son, Zachariah, and he has been studying
Actually,
astrology since 2016. He has a platform that he created on Instagram, but he's gonna make sure he leave his if you want to,
I
Zach,
am.
your stuff down in the chat.
I am gonna leave it in the chat.
But
Let me
he's gonna
see.
come back with us again. This is our first time. We've always talked about doing it, and we've been saying we're gonna do it for a year. But my son transitioned last year, so we've been going through our grieving process as a family. Oh, my baby Peyton say, "You welcome, love you."
We love y'all. We still embracing them.
Wow, thank you so much, Diallo. I wish I'm kind of I don't want to mess up or murder your name, Abdullah. That's
Abdullah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I
Yes,
like
may
that
the
name.
Most
That's
High
nice.
continue to abundantly prosper you in every way, peace and prosperity on your life as well, all the way from Senegal. We thank you for joining us.
We thank you. I'm trying to pull it up. Where's my internet? So bear with me, Mom. I'm pulling out. I'm just gonna use my game because it's not working on my phone and stuff.
Yeah, because you're on a different time zone, so I know you're going to have to get ready to go.
Why
Go,
you not
go,
on
go, go,
here?
go. This You guys join me. I'm going to be coming back to do a live collective reading. I was trying to get y'all done yesterday.
Okay,
Listen,
bro.
y'all, we got some big things in store for us. I'm hearing God say wealth. I'm hearing the spirit say wealth, cattle. Some of you guys could actually have cattle on your land. There's something in your life that's being fulfilled on another level. I'm hearing spirit say next level, next level, next level. It's only up from here. Don't be distracted by the things that are coming to bring your energy down. Stay focused on, you know, somebody's getting ready to have some sort of payoffs because there's been some sort of disruptive energy, but it's all to bring something full circle, if that makes any sense.
I don't
I don't know,
understand.
there's something happening when you talk about the mother energy. um Great Mother is definitely, Divine Mother is helping us to really address a lot of problems centered around the family. um I don't know. There's just a lot of things that's being addressed when it comes to the ego. You ready, Zach?
I'm trying to pull it up. I don't know
And it
what's going on
won't.
with my
Well, we'll
devices
just
today.
save it for next time if it doesn't come up.
I'm sorry. I'm like, oh man.
Don't be sorry.
Well, I apologize. I was just about to say, well, I
Technology
apologize.
is doing what it's doing, okay? At the same time, I'm so thankful that you took out the time to join us. If there is anything
What?
that you want to share off the dome, then
Oh
go
yeah.
for it.
Well, based off what we were saying about Diggy, I do want to get more into it next time we do a video. I'm gonna have everything ready next time. But um, I do want to say I feel like he's the fall guy based off because it's bigger names
Of
that haven't
course.
been mentioned.
Always. It's
So
going to always be like that.
Like Clyde Davis, like I feel like he's just a fall guy based off
Oh,
the
that
people
came
that
up in my
cultivate him.
reading last week. Is that Jive Records? Is that
I
Jive
think
Records? Is
Clyde
Clyde Davis
Davis.
on this?
I'll
Job
look it
records
up. I
came
think
out in
so.
my reading last week. I need to look
Uh,
it up. But go ahead. You can finish talking.
but Clyde Davis, you got some other people behind him too. The dude who's over 300 Entertainment. What's
Mm-hmm.
his name? It's the dude Leonard Cohen. He's a tall Jewish guy. He's put on a lot of people in the industry. He's one of those guys who's like a tycoon in the music industry. You know what I mean? Who's
Mm-hmm.
basically manipulating and basically perpetuating the demise of our people in rap culture, basically.
Zach, why you said I just looked it up. Why does it say that he is the president of Jive Records? Jive Records came up in my reading last week, yo. I think the
Oh
one that I did
wow.
for three that I did for
Dang,
the
I should
last
have you
reading I
bring up
did, guys. Make sure
his
y'all
birth
check it
chart.
out. Hi
What's
Carter.
up, Carter?
Hi Carter.
Pepe the
We love
Thug.
you, Car.
Love y'all, love
Listen.
y'all.
So that came up. Something is being exposed when you talk about all these
Yeah,
major
because
companies.
they've been hiding it for so long, and it's crazy that during the
The
Piscean
puppets, the ones
age,
that were been out in the front, that's been taking, like you said, the fall guy.
yeah,
What they're experiencing is one thing, but what's happening behind the scenes with what's
right,
happening, it's on a they're getting it too.
right,
God is not playing. It's happening. What Spirit has been saying to me, it's happening on every level.
of
But
course.
you just seeing for those who have major, influence,
Love
it's being
y'all.
exposed more so.
Right, right. And it's crazy that the entertainment industry was created during the Piscean age because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune rules media communication, the music industry, pictures, and even what the word Hollywood represents. The word Hollywood comes from the holly tree, which is which I heard is like a tree that they use to make wands and stuff, pretty much.
mm.
And we use wands to cast spells. So the whole point of
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood is to cast spells,
Mm.
and just on
Well,
a
I
deeper
think that
level. And
that
and
veil
they
is
use
definitely
astrology
coming
for
down.
sure.
But anything else?
Anything else? I did want to say one more thing. I'm trying to think. So Jupiter is in Gemini, so it's a great time to manifest ideas and to not just manifest ideas, but to also come up with great ideas because Gemini represents the mind and Jupiter represents expansion. So anything you think pretty much is going to be expanded during this time. So it's a great time to manifest and to be conscious of what you're manifesting because it will come in abundance or excess. Because, like I said, Jupiter rules the mind. I mean, yeah, Jupiter does rule the mind and Gemini rules the mind. Jupiter represents your higher
Mm.
mind, and Gemini represents more like your conscious mind.
And as far as more of
I mean,
the
Mercury or Gemini
so do you feel
represents your
like
conscious
more of
mind.
the type of work that people will be taking on is actually she said yes it's okay save it for next time the fact that y'all got on here is everything thank you both for the gems.
Love you, thank you.
We appreciate you but thank you we love you. What I was trying to say, oh my gosh, that just slipped my mind real quick. Oh, okay, so with that being said, too, will you see people as far as us tapping into this creative energy, as far as what we're looking at in regards to the chart? Do you see it like where people will actually be stepping into more fields of career communication careers, like this? Like, will you
Definitely.
see that happening more?
Mom.
Because I've been
Sorry,
picking it up. So
I just picked up something. You need to
okay,
keep doing this.
huh?
You need to keep doing this. I need to keep
Okay.
doing this too. I just felt something in my spirit, like this is the time. Like what you were saying,
hmm
confirmation is this is the time of communication because Gemini rules communication. This is the time to get
Yes.
out here. And I just been thinking about podcasts and just being more direct with getting on to social media and saying my piece, and even just with what we're doing right now, like that represents us being in that Jupiter being in Gemini, and
Wow.
we're taking advantage of that energy, by even having this
Wow.
interview
Wow.
or live.
Well, I just want to say to anybody in the chat who has been having some issues with their throat chakra and communicating, you're going to see a lot of healing taking place. So you to step up and start speaking from a place of truth and communicating your truth in your interactions, but more or less you're going to start to feel more of a freedom, if you will,
Yes,
to step into your talents. And it is going to have a lot to do with your throat chakra.
and Gemini
I
rules the
want
throat chakra and Mercury.
Wow. In America, especially, you just said that America, we have the throat chakra. So step
Exactly.
out if you are, especially here in the West or wherever you are in the world, step out, speak your truth, live your truth. Zachariah, I am
I
so
say,
thankful you decided to join me. This is the Girl You Can Trust Tarot. And
I'm
guys, we're
thankful
going to
you
get it
decided to
together. We're
have
going to be
this.
bringing more information to you guys. I'm so thankful for everybody that joined in on the chat. Zach, if you want to say anything, y'all, I'll be right back to do a live reading for you guys. I miss you all. I love you all. We thank you, Spirit. I love you the most
Thank you,
high.
Spirit. Thank you,
Is there
Spirit.
anything else you wanted to say?
I feel so thankful and just delighted that you invited me on here and that we actually got on here and just did it, and regardless of anything. And I appreciate all
Wow.
the
Is there
support and
anything?
just
Where can people find you? Because I know you haven't been really
okay.
like growing your YouTube channel, or do you not want to tell people where they can find you
No, let me
yet?
tell you, it's I need to look at the name
Can
if
you
I'm
type
saying it
it
right.
down in the chat or no?
Let me.
Because this is our first time doing it.
No, I can't type it, but it's I
Well, you can
spell it
just say
different.
it. Now I'll
Yeah,
make
it's
sure I leave
Astro.
it in the thumbnail.
Yeah, it's Astro World Readings. But I'm gonna send it to you because you got to put it in a certain way because it's not exactly
Okay.
like that. But Astro
Okay.
World Readings. I'm also on TikTok. I need to start posting more, so y'all forgive me. I'm going to be putting more information out there and doing more things like this because this is fun. I like this.
Good. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Also, you be posting a lot of stuff on your Instagram page, or you didn't want to give me your personal page?
I was thinking about that. Nah.
Would you say no? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. I am the girl you can trust, Tarot. And leave me a comment down below if any of this resonated for you. And listen, the joke is over. The more you wake up, the more they go bankrupt. I'll see y'all in a few minutes. I love
I
you
like
guys.
that, bro.
Thank, huh?
I said I like that, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to you in a second. I love
I
you
love y'all.
guys.
Love y'all. Thank y'all for having us.